Hey y'all, I'm James Wright. Welcome to my shop. This is the Stanley number 60. It's a Spokeshave with 2 blades for the price of 1. Let's dive in and take a look at it. By far, the most common Spokeshave ever made was the Stanley 151. Really simple Spokeshave with 2 adjusting screws. Really, you can't go wrong with this thing. It just does everything you want, except it's flat. And just like a tire, when it comes to round things, it doesn't roll as well when it's flat. And just like that tire, it'll get the work done and it will roll you home, but you're gonna be left with this really rough surface you're gonna have to work on later. Unless you're doing a lot of chair legs or other spindle work, you don't find yourself doing a lot of big round things that often. So the flat bottom works perfectly fine for most applications, but every now and then, I want this to have a bit of a curvature. Let me introduce you to the Stanley number 60. The Stanley number 60 has 2 blades and one of them is flat, but the other one is not. It's got a round surface, and that round surface allows you to do rounded items. But unlike your collection of carving gouges, they don't come in a random assortment of every curvature you've ever come across. They come in one rounded surface, which will do you up to around a 3-inch diameter. Any larger than that and flat works perfectly fine. So you only need one that has that radius and one that has, well, no radius. And it does it all. And it's a relatively simple tool. It's got 1 big body, 3 screws, 1 top plate that holds it all in, and then 2 irons. One of them is flat like a traditional iron, and the other one has a curvature to it. But mine are, well, they're really dull. So let's see what we have to do to sharpen these. For the flat one, it's really straightforward. I'm going to set it up with the vice grip trick, and this allows you to set it on here and use the vice grip as your honing guide. And oh my word, we're gonna spend a while on this one. It's gonna need a good bit of work. And after a few minutes of that, you can see we got a nice shiny spot all the way across and a good burr on the back. I normally don't touch the back, but in this case, because I have that big burr, I'm gonna flip it over and clean that off and give myself a nice surface to work with. Then back to the vice grip and let's do the other 2 grits. Because it's small, it's not gonna take that much. Just a couple passes on this one, a couple passes on that one. Take the burr off on the strop and we should be good to go. Don't forget to stop, strop, and roll. Now I've got an edge that is, yeah, that's what I want right there. But that one ain't gonna work. And that's why DMT makes what they call the wave. It's got curvatures that will match just about anything you want. Particularly for carving gouges, these are amazing. I'll leave links to them down below, but they're a lot of fun. Normally for a carving gouge, I find a section that matches it really closely and I'll just work that section. But this one is a much bigger curvature than any spot on this will do. So I'm gonna pick a spot up here. I'm gonna start on this curve and basically move it side to side as I pull it back. So I'll start up on here, and then when I finish, I'll be over here. And I'm using my thumb as a guide on the back. And we're just going to work through it. You can also use an old-fashioned slipstone to do the same thing, and this is how you would have sharpened curved knives back in the day. Or you can grab some sandpaper, wrap it around a dowel of about the right size, and use it the exact same way on the sandpaper. I find the wave just to be a little more civilized, but no, I really enjoy these, and they work great for a lot of different curvatures. Yeah, this one's actually in pretty bad shape. It's going to take me a good 5 to 10 minutes to get this bevel back where it needs to be. See you in a bit. After that, we can go from the coarse to the fine. And really, that's about all I need. More of the same, but this one shouldn't take too much. I just created the bevel on the last one, so this one should be just refining it. Last, I can take a strop, wrap it around my finger, and create a bit of a curvature to it. And I can use that to strop the edge and get a nice clean polish on there. Get rid of the burr on the back. To reinsert them, they go in beveled down. I actually like to insert them from the bottom side and slide them up. Use the bench to push them down into their height. I find that a little bit easier than risking pushing the blade in through the top and damaging it. I want them to be in so that they're not sticking out. So if I stick my finger underneath here, I'm not going to feel them coming out at all. Then once they're in, we can stick the screwdriver on here and tighten these down a good ways, if not all the way. And here comes the trickiest part of this whole item, is that these are hammer adjusted. And if you hit this one, you're going to move that one a little bit. And so when you hit this one, you're going to move that one a bit, and you got to go back and forth. So what I like to do is keep them both loose and adjust one of them, lock down these 2 screws really tight, and then work on the other one. Just understand that the other one is going to then rotate by the one that's not down fully tight. But it means there's less chance of moving the first one you worked on. So I'm going to put my finger underneath so I can feel the blade, and then I'm going to come in with the hammer and just tap until the blade is sticking out just a little bit. That's right about where I want that one. Then we can tighten down these two screws. And then I can come back over here and tighten those down. Then we can take it for a test drive. And here I'm not getting anything. I'm using the flat one. But over on this side, I'm getting just a little bit of a wisp. So I want to set this one in a little more. There we go. I got a heavy cut over here, and I got a light cut over here. And that's what you really want. You want to have a gradient from heavy cut to light cut, or light cut to heavy cut, either direction you want, so that you can get a nice clean finishing cut here, or you can move over and really hog off some material. And being able to shift from side of iron to side of iron gives you your depth of cut adjustment. For this one, we don't want it to be heavier on one side or the other. We want it to be fairly smooth across the whole surface. But in this case, I'm not taking very much. I want to do a little bit heavier than that. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Right there. Nice clean cut. It is very, very fiddly to adjust this. I wish they had the adjusters like the 151. This is very easy to adjust. This is difficult. I really don't have a problem hammer adjusting. I don't mind that. But having two of them on here where you have to adjust one and then the other and come back and forth and back and forth, it does get a little bit fiddly. If you take your time and you use light taps, it's not too bad, but just understand it's going to take a little bit of going back and forth. But the nice thing is now you can come in with this, and with the flat side, you can actually shape it to what you're looking for. Take the heavy side and really hog off some material, and that flat actually will march through it a little bit faster. And then you can come in with the rounded one, and you can remove all of those chamfers and give yourself a nice, smooth transition surface that feels really good to the touch. The Stanley 60 is a bit of an odd booger, but the odd thing is that this is called a Spokeshave, which spokes are generally round, and you would think you would want something like this to work on a round surface. But these were actually very rarely used. Most people just prefer to use the flat bottom, even when doing a rounded surface, because you could use this, and then with all of those little facets created, you could come in with a card scraper and in just a few seconds remove all of those facets and get a clean surface. So you could do it all with this, or you could do it all with this. But this is a lot harder to set up, and this is very easy to set up. So there's a reason why Stanley sold thousands, if not millions of these, but they did not sell as many. So I hope you like this dive into an interesting little video. I like doing these from time to time, and I want to say a thank you to Southern Coin. He's the one who actually mentioned this at Joshua Wright. He's had a few questions on how to use this tool, so I figured why not do a video on it. So here you go. And if you have something, you have a question on one of these, or have some interesting tool you'd like me to do, send a question and maybe it'll turn into a video as well. I do also want to say a huge thank you to everyone. Put a like, comment, share, subscribe, because that helps out the channel. But even more than that, thank you to all of those people over there. Those are some of the fantastic, wonderful, benevolent, gorgeous people over on Patreon. Because without patrons and members like you, this channel wouldn't exist. So thank you for that. If you'd like to find out more about that, links down below, but I think they'll do it for now. And until next time, have a wonderful day. Honestly, this is a very beautiful tool. I mean, just look at it. It's very curvy. It's very edgy. It's, well, sharp.